Can anyone tell me what this is? Huh? It's a fist? This is a fist, okay. What's this? That's the line? Okay, cool. Line of what?
Like Benjamin. Is it the Lion of Judah, right?
Yes.
Yes.
The Lion of Judah. Does anyone know what this red means?
Blood?
Yes. Blood. The blood of what?
Of the lion.
Nah. Well, which one? Which lion? Which lion? Lion of Judah? Yeah. So this is the Lion of Judah, aka Jesus. The red stands for the blood of Christ. And the fist means we're fighting with Christ, alongside with Christ. So that's, when you see this, you know that that's what that means. And barehand as a whole means to take control. The only way you can take control of gifts is give control to Christ. So, just wanted to throw that out there. So today, I'm going to be presenting to you guys 3D Coat. What exactly is 3D Coat? Well, 3D Coat is an all-in-one scoping package. You can take a high-definition scope to a game-ready model, textured, unwrapped, retopologized, all in this program. So, I'll go ahead and open it up for you guys. So, this is 3D Coat. And now I'm in the paint room. So, I'm going to go ahead and go in the scope room. So, the way that 3D Coat works, so right now the industry standard is ZBrush. Every company, most companies use ZBrush in the game industry to get really high definition models. My issue with ZBrush is that when it comes to when you need to make quick edits and things like that, and you're dealing with a high definition model, if you need to subdivide a model or lower the resolution, like it's based on topology. So if I let me do a quick example. Let's see. Let's do a quick example. So I'm gonna go over here. Let's see, primitives. Right, with primitives. Okay. All right. So I will. Let's see that right here. Let's see. I'll apply this. Okay, grow. All right. So I got my primitive. Right. Now, if I was to simply do this, let's see. Let's scale it. So we're going to transform. 3D set axis. To max. Okay. So if I was to simply do this in ZBrush, that right there, scaling the model, what's going to happen is the topology is going to stretch. So 3D Coat is based on voxel scope. You can modify the model as much as you like, and it'll keep reloading itself till you see the voxels. I'll show you the voxels. So these are the voxels, right? So if this was like a surface model that we were using in ZBrush, and we stretch it like that, you will see the topology. You will see it stretch out, right? But in 3D Coat, no matter what I do to this, so let's see. Let me go on my grow. So let's grow this. So no matter what, let me go back. All right. Scoping on this. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at it again. closely. No matter what I do, it's gonna keep the same resolution on the model. If I was to do that in ZBrush, you would see like these squares right here would stretch. Okay, so that's what I like about 3D code, because it allows you to be creatively free. You can pull, you can push, there's so many tools available, which I'm going to show you. You can do whatever you want, and it won't affect like the topology. And then you could take this model, and which I'm going to show, you'll be able to retopologize that, keep the shape that you want and everything, and get the game model ready. So a lot of the issues that people have when creating is that, they don't want to be limited. So like if you're just, sketching on your model, you're like, oh yeah, that's some good, this is some good, this is some good. And you look at it and the topology is all like messed up. You're like, oh man, like now I have to go back and fix it. I can't stretch this model like this because it's gonna mess up everything. So I'm gonna create a basic object. So just like in ZBrush, or I can delete this. Let's see. So one of the things that I like about 3D code is it kind of works like Photoshop. It has like layers. Here's my box tree. It's pretty much the layers for sculpting. And you can create as many layers as you want. So I just create a new layer. And let's see, I delete this layer that I put the spear on. Let's see, I'm gonna make a simple object. So you can put a background image in there, edit, image placement, choose. Let's see, I got like a little room rock or whatnot. We'll choose this. All right, so if I set that in the background, right? Like, this is my reference. This is what I want to make. All right. So then, beginning that, let's see. Okay, so that's in the background. Primitives. All right, so to make this, I'm probably going to use like a cube. I'm going to make the cube probably about the thickness, probably about that. Scale this out right here. Oops. Right? And so I'm going to show you one tool that I really like to use. Let's see. Hit apply. All right. There. So there's my reference image. Here's my voxel object. And now I'm going to try to make the shape, the base shape of this. So one tool that 3D Code has, right here are all your sculpting tools on the side. So the tool set is a bit different from ZBrush. There are certain tools like this cutoff here that ZBrush, I don't know if ZBrush has that. I don't think ZBrush has cutoff, but I can just come in here. Let's see. And I can just cut off pieces. Let me undo that. I'm gonna make sure that the camera is flat. Okay, there we go. All right, so I just come here, boom, boom, boom. Try to get the basic silhouette. So I can go in here and I can just cut into this model. Cut here, here, here. And I can just do this all the way around. So let's see. That's cool. I'm using kind of like your lasso tool in Photoshop. Alright, basically cut out that shape. So if I look around here, I have like the base shape of this, right? And even cutting that off, you can still look and see that the voxels are the same. It didn't get messed up. So that's all I was saying. In ZBrush, if I was to modify, the more you modify your model, the more that this topology is going to get, like, it's going to stretch or it's going to deform somehow. So it allows total creative freedom. All right, so here, let's see, my models are see-through, so this is for the opacity. So now I can come in here, and another great thing about 3D Coat is that I can switch to surface mode if I want from voxel mode. And surface mode pretty much allows you to get like really high details. So I can increase the resolution here, increase it twice, and I can go in surface mode, and I could do things like, you know, to kind of add like chits and stuff on there. Let's see, so I can add like some of this stuff onto it. Pass it down. And cut out some of this, like these corners here, and cut off corners. Right. Cut off some of these corners. Like that. Get some of these cracks and stuff. And then you can go between surface mode and voxel mode at any time.
What's the difference between surface and voxel?
What was that?
What's the difference between the two?
So surface mode is like if you want to do like some high definition like sculpting on the model. Surface mode is like it goes into the ZBrush model. So like remember I was saying like the ZBrush models are based on surface topology, and 3D Coat has voxel sculpting, so you can switch between the two modes. You can switch if you wanted to go to ZBrush route. You can go to ZBrush route in surface mode. So like surface, when you switch to surface mode, you'll notice. Here, I'll show you. When you switch to surface mode, you'll notice a lot of the tools are different. So a lot of the tools change. Like I get this tool here, flatten, chisel. A lot of these tools aren't in voxel mode.
Okay.
So it's some tools that like, I'm like, oh, I need to get like some scratches.
Right.
Like some scratches on like a chest plate or something like that. Then I'm like, okay, I'll go in surface mode and I can get that type of detail using the tools here. So it's more like I use voxel mode to get like base silhouettes, and then I go into surface mode to get like small details. Like if you were doing like lizard scales or something like that, I would go in surface mode to get lizard scales. Let's see. So watch when I switch here, when I switch back to voxel mode, you'll see my tools change. Some of the tools are the same, but a lot of the tools, especially down here, a lot of your like live play tools, stuff like this, wrinkles,
that's cool.
So a lot of that stuff you get in surface mode. So then I can come in here, I'm not gonna put too much emphasis on this, just kind of show some of the stuff that I have available. Let's see, and also you have that symmetry mode, just like ZBrush. So I can sculpt them. Down resolution. So you see that with symmetry on, it's doing it on all four sides. I can put symmetry just for the y-axis or the z-axis. It'll do it on both the top and the bottom of the model on y-axis, z-axis, left and right, and so forth. So say I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm happy with this model, and I want to get like the runes and stuff on there. The rune I can do as a normal map, which I'll do in the paint room. So I'm gonna go into read to apologize and probably cut this off because this is an issue with this. Smooth this up. Alright. So say I'm like, okay, I'm ready to take this to the next step. I need to retopologize this, right? So 3D Scope has an option for retopologizing. It can take like hours to retopologize a model, right? But 3D Code actually has an auto topologizing tool, which I think ZBrush has, but it's not very, it's not really clean in ZBrush. But I know for sure that I use auto topo in this program a lot. I rarely have to really go in and manually retopologize a model in 3D Code. So all I gotta do is click here. You wanna make sure that let's see. So I can see. All right. So I need to down the resolution to the point where I can still keep my shape, but I can see these voxels. All right. Cool. So now I can see my voxels. If I click on this one, the high resolution one, you can't really see, but if you move up close, you can see the voxels. Okay. So I want this one. So I right click, auto topo. Let's see, I can make this. Let's try like 500 or something. See what we get. So put the poly count in there. Okay. Next. So this right here is a strokes tool that allows you to, if your model is really complicated, you can add lines, reference lines, and tell the program. Okay, I'll do it real quick. I'll do it real quick. So you can add like reference lines to tell the program how you want the topology to flow along the model.
So you can have sections that are high density.
Yeah, like you say you can have sections like that are high. Yeah, so like if I wanted to tell the model like, look, like on this part, like I wanted to say on this part, it's gonna be really detailed so I can draw strokes, a lot of strokes along the bottom,
Yeah.
and then it'll put more topology in that area.
Okay. ZBrush doesn't do that, I don't think.
Huh?
I don't think ZBrush does that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not a ZBrush. This is a 3D code exclusive. So I hit next. Let's see if it'll. So you let it do its thing. Usually I don't like to touch computer when I'm doing. I need to apologize because it'll mess up. So you let it load.
But you don't use ZBrush at all anymore.
No, I don't.
Yes,
I'm going to show you, like, I'll show you, like, why. Like, this is, so we just scoped it. I just did a quick scope, like, of this little room thing. And now I'm taking this. If this was ZBrush, you'd be like, okay, I got my scope, my high definition scope. Now I need to, decimate the model, bring it down, and I need to take it into, like, take it in another program so you topologize it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm like, man, it doesn't make, like, I want, especially for an indie, like, you want, like, a program that can do a lot more for you, that has, like this program. Like, I just scoped it, now I retopologize in the same program. I don't have to leave 3D code. I'm doing all of this in 3D code. So, as you can see here, I just retopologized this high definition model. And I have the same shape. Right? I didn't have to leave 3D code, right? So now, on top of that, let's see. So on top of that, I'm in my, let's see, my retopology. Yes, okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna make that invisible for a second so that I can see. Let me take symmetry off. I don't need to see that right now. Take off the Z. Let me do that over. Let me retopologize it over. I don't want to retopologize the symmetry. Get out of here. Go back to my scope. Bring it back. Right click. Auto topo. Yes, yes. Next time I'll do like. I'll do without mode. Just want to make sure that. I'll show you guys that it topologizes really easily. Next. Alright, so let him do his thing.
So before you're retopologizing, what is the base poly count that it's dropping from, or does it work that way?
Yeah, so if you saw here, I'll show you real quick.
Or is it there down at the bottom of the thing?
No. So that voxels aren't topology based.
Okay.
So that's what I was talking about with voxels. I can pull, scale, like anything to my scope, and it won't, like, there's no poly count. So you're not limited. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference that's one of the big differences between 3D Code and ZBrush, is that ZBrush is topology based and 3D Code is voxel based. All right, so see, I have my scope here, right? Got the base silhouette. It looks pretty good to me. I don't see any big differences really. So now I can take this, and so one of the processes that you have to do, guys, is that when you have your low resolution model, you have to do something called unwrap, right? So you're taking this model, and like a piece of paper, you're cutting a line in this, and you're gonna take it like a flat piece of paper so you can put it like on a canvas and then paint on it. So I need to unwrap this, okay? So that's another thing. A lot of people that I know in the industry that use ZBrush, they have unwrapping tools where they have to leave ZBrush, unwrap, and then take the model into Maya, and then open Photoshop, paint the texture maps in Photoshop. Like, you need at least that's like 3-4 different programs that you have to use. I'm doing this all here. So I can unwrap in the same program. I can come here, let's see, UV, and I can do, if I want, I can auto map this. And it just auto unwraps for me. There's a few cases where you see things like here, where I'm like, oh, I can come here and fix that if I really want to. I can find that part, which is down here, and I can remove those seams. So let's see, seams. Let's see where those seams are marked. I don't want to select this. No. Okay. All right, so I can hit Control, and I can edit these seams however I want. But for the most part, it unwrapped it pretty clean for me, right? So now, and that was in one click. Like, I just hit auto map. And in some cases you'll have to, like, oh, I need to unwrap this lizard tail or something a certain way, so you have to go in there and manually add seams. So now it's unwrapped. I have my piece of paper, right? This is the piece of paper that I want, right here. This is my piece of paper where I can color on it. Okay? So now I can take that and let's see. I'm gonna bring in the highest bolts. I'll bring in this shape. Bring in this one. Okay. And now I can go in here, bake with normal map. So I can create a normal map now from the sculpt that I did, right? I can bake a normal map onto this. And I will explain what a normal map is for some of you who don't know. Bake a normal map. From here, outer shell. Let's see, I need to get this. Okay, this is good. I want that to be about like 5. So it creates a shell that pretty much allows you to tell the program to make the scope object that you made to cover your retopologized object so that it gets all the details. So that's what I'm doing now. Right. Okay, cool. All right, so now I'm gonna hit OK. OK. I'm gonna put the resolution high. It's better to go higher than lower because you can always downsize the resolution in Photoshop or something. All right, I'm gonna let that bake the normal map. Hopefully my laptop is not lower.
Just making a normal map based on the subtle changes in the
sculpt. Right.
So that it will flatten out.
And I'm putting that on my retopologized object. Cool. Now I did this thing. Now, again, like I said, still in 3D code. Doing all of this in 3D code. I go next. I'll make this invisible, and I'm gonna go into paint. Now, this is my model. This is my low resolution game ready model. And now I'm in the paint room, right? And you can see all of my details. All of my details are there, right? Now I can come in here and I can start adding like this room here. Let's see. I can add cracks too as a normal map. So let's click on that. I click on the normal right here. I can add some cracks into here or here. All right. I'm gonna make a new layer. So right here, like I said, it works like a lot like Photoshop. Now I'm in a painting room, and I can create layers like Photoshop. And the thing about this program, compared to ZBrush, is that you have to take your model out and put it in Photoshop and paint your textures. You can't really paint like right in the ZBrush and come out of ZBrush like with a paint ready game model that's ready for the game engine. So in here, I can create a new layer. I just create a new layer, right? has all of your blending options and stuff for like Photoshop, like hard light, vivid light, saturation, multiply, all of that's there. So like the possibilities are endless when you're like painting. You use all of those Photoshop tools. So I can come here, let's see, I'm gonna name this layer texture. I can come here and I can just add cracks to this. Just add cracks to it. I can select this, add some cracks up here. I can make this crack smaller. I can zoom in here. And these are all normal maps.
Right. So I don't know how familiar everybody is with normal maps, and I don't know that your explanation earlier was quite clear.
So apologies. So let me explain what a normal map is. So a normal map is you're basically taking detail, like these cracks, for example. These cracks aren't really there, but from a distance, it looks like those cracks are there. If we zoom in on this, it's just a flat surface. You see that? There's not really cracks there. It's just a flat surface. But what they do in games, when they're making games, is that they give these objects normal maps so that you don't have to that doesn't have to be topology. Because if you were to do this manually, it would have to be a bunch of like polygons right within this area because there's so much detail. So you're basically faking out your audience and making them think that there's a lot of topology right here in detail when it's actually not. It's just a piece of paper that makes it look like, it gives it the illusion that there's detail on it. So that's what a normal map is. So you're taking that paper, I can take like take the paper, right? I take paper, I put the normal map on here, and I basically put it on the object like that. And I'm like, yeah, you see that detail? You see the scope? Like, look at all these cracks and stuff. That's what they're doing. So the player, when they're looking at it from afar, they're like, yo, that looks cool. You see all the detail?
And there's technical details too that are distinct to normal maps in terms of how it reacts to angles.
Right.
But
Like you can create a whole room. Like say you're making a game, right? And this is the path that you want your player to go along, right? But those walls aren't walls, they're rooms, right? So say this wall right here, this wall, we make it like this is cut off, and we make it like another office or something with chairs and tables and stuff. You can create the illusion that there's an office right there with just normal maps. Like I've seen guys create like a spaceship, and you're inside of the spaceship, and you only allow the player to go from here to here, but it makes it look like this wall has all these panels and screens and stuff on it. When it's not really there, it's a normal map. So that's what, they take that piece of paper and they put it on the water, and they're like, look at all these screens and stuff that's like flickering and doing stuff. Well, it's really just a piece of paper that looks like there's screens there. So that's pretty much what we're doing here. We're taking that piece of paper, we're putting high scope details on it, and we're wrapping it around the model so that it looks like there are cracks there. Okay? So then I could take like, let's see, some other stuff in here. So I can go in here, let's see, I can get like a little room or something like a little alpha map real quick. Google. Room alpha map. Let's see. Alright, so let me get this room. Or I can just create one real quick. Let's see, symbols. Let's try symbols. Room symbols. Okay, I'll use one of these. I'll use this one. Take this. I'll save this. Miss pictures. GIF. Alright, I'll take it. I'll just make it. Save. Open this up. So what I'm doing is I'm going to create an alpha map that I can pretty much take this into the program. And I'm sure there's a way, I don't know how to do it yet, but I'm sure there's a way that you can create your alpha maps within 3D Code. I haven't figured that out yet. So I'm going to open that image that I just downloaded. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Open this up. I'm going to save this. Save this as, first I want to save this as, let's save it as a PNG. Okay. I want to reopen that. PNG. Stuff is all over the place.
Does 3D Code connect with Photoshop, where if you make changes in Photoshop, they show up in?
Does it connect with Photoshop?
Yeah, it is. I can't remember if it has that or not.
I've actually never figured out like a plugin or something that I know it connects to Unity,
Yeah.
where you can edit your model in 3D Code and then it'll update in Unity. So I know there are plugins like that because I use that
Right.
when I'm sculpting. Like
Seems
I need to make a minor.
seems to me like there would be, but I can't recall if there is.
So all right, let's see. So I'm gonna invert this real quick. So make it white because when you're doing alpha map, make it white. So let's see, invert. Okay, it's white. I'll come here, drag this down, pink bucket, get black. Black, cool. I got a little symbol, right? I go here, save, and I'm gonna save this as PNG. Put this symbol. Cool, okay. Go back to 3D Code. Alright, so I can create a new alpha map here. Open texture file, come here. Let's see, where did it say? No, here it is. Alright, so now I have this symbol that I just created, right? It's in there. I can come here. Let's see. Come here. On my model. And I can put this symbol right on here. Quite real. It's too clean. Yeah, it's too clean. But let's see this one. We need like I probably should like made it a bit softer. So if I wanted to make this glow too, like I can come here, and come here, I can add a layer, use emissive, add like a glowing room effect on it. Give it, duplicate this. Here. And I can paint, I can add a base layer. Another base layer, I can say base color. And it has all types of options. You can create your own materials in the paint room. So you have like cartoon tuning materials. Let's see, I'm gonna choose. Let's choose this one with the cracks and stuff on it. So I could choose this.
So if I'm getting this right, you use this instead of any 3D model.
Yeah, I use 3D Code to do all of my models.
So you don't touch mine, don't touch Blender, just leave that.
Yeah, I don't use
Yes.
ZBrush. Maya, I use Maya because I animate in Maya.
Right.
And if I need to do box modeling or something like that in Maya, like I can do it. But I do everything in here because I can, you just saw me take it from scope to retopologizing it to painting it, all here.
Yeah.
So I bang out, like what I'll do is, I'll come in this program and I'll just sculpt a bunch of stuff. I'll sculpt a bunch of stuff, like I'll even sculpt like a scene or something. And then I'll take each individual object, I'll retopologize it, paint, unwrap it, paint it, put it in. Take the next one object that I made. So that's pretty much like my workflow for like how I create environments in our game. Like I'll show you one image that I'm actually going to show later. So let's see. Content. So let's see if I have an old image too. Let's see if I have that here. Okay, cool. All right, so this is like our prototype pretty much. All of this is placeholder or prototype art that we use for our prototype. And I did not have 3D Code at the time. And I'm like, okay, my buddy introduced me to 3D Code, and I'm like, he's like, man, I'm telling you, you can make these environments with all in 3D Code. For you being an indie, you know, it's affordable. So I'm like, okay. So then I started, you know, messing around with 3D Code, and like I'm like, all right, I think I could build like some cool environments. So I made this in 3D Code. So pretty much this is the art style that we're going for in the game. And this was the prototype. So this is prototype, and this is the look we're going for. So I did all of this in 3D Code. The 3D artist, he did the character model and the statue. He did. I think he uses ZBrush, but everything else is 3D Code, and I could actually sculpt like these characters in 3D Code. So.
Was it just because you guys made moves 3D Code with the characters done in ZBrush?
You said, is it because
you hadn't made the move to 3D Code when we did the characters?
Yeah, so we hadn't made that move yet, and the 3D artist that's been working on like the character models and stuff, like this character model, he did in ZBrush, and he's familiar with ZBrush. So you know, I'm like, you know, if that's what you want to use, like, you know, that's fine. But for me, he's the only 3D artist on our team, so I have to help him. So I'm like, okay, I went into ZBrush, but I was kind of like, man, I need something. Like my buddy's like, I'm telling you, man, it's going to be a lot cheaper on you. So ZBrush, if you look here, ZBrush is $7.95, right? $7.95.
Let's see.
On top of that, you need Photoshop because you're gonna have to take the model out of ZBrush and paint it, right? So you need Photoshop, you need a Photoshop license, and probably an unwrapping tool. You need that. All of those things I did in 3D Code, and 3D Code is half the price. So it's actually $100 off right now in January. Would you mind if we use the amateur version to get our Kickstarter video done? And they're like, yeah, that's cool. And they also have a 30-day free trial. So I was able to try it out, see if I like it, and I bought the amateur version. So this program is half the price of ZBrush, and you get to do everything in the program.
It's not even half the price, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like it's a win-win situation. On top of that, when I read into the company, they're actually a Christian-based company.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is their testimony, where they're talking about pretty much thermals, and that they don't want anyone to make
Edwin?
like.
I like this note. I think it would benefit them to just have you read it. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. You want me to read it?
I think that would be great.
I'll say it. All right. So so it says. Let me read it from here. It says, "We thank you for interest in 3D Code, for your support of us in any manner. Without your interest and support, there will be neither 3D Code nor our company. Please don't take us as nerds, but we would like to share with you what we believe is important and what lies beyond the plain business relationship. We came to understanding that 3D Code is getting more and more popular and now is used in all major world game studios and more than 150 universities and schools. We asked ourselves, what is our responsibility as creators? It was a serious question for us. We understand that our children of different ages play video games created with the help of our own software. We would like them to learn kindness, compassion, and purity. We would sincerely want them to play educational, positive, and family games, as well as watch similar video content. There is such a lack of it in these days. We are partners with you. Let's create such products with our children, which our children could play and watch. We reap what we sow in this life. Let's sow the kind in our life and in our children's lives. We would be really happy if 3D Code could be used to create beautiful works of art to inspire and bring joy and not provoke hatred, aggression to people, addiction, or carnality. I don't know if I said that right. We are mostly Christian team, so this question is especially sharp for us because we know that God's law treats hatred as murder and infidelity and mind as real adultery and consequences of our sins influence the whole life. We are worried about the fate of a society in which the depravity and violence is often the norm. Can we change anything? As the creators of 3D Code, we ask you to use 3D Code with responsibility, how it influences other people, our and your children, and the whole society. Let us endeavor to use our creativity to better our children and people around the world. Of course, such a position could provoke many questions, and one of them will be, does God exist at all? We personally saw supernatural events and healings and as answers of prayers in our lives and in the lives of our friends. Some of them were miracles. 3 guys from our team are professional physicists. Andrew, the lead developer of 3D Code, wrote an article on quantum electrodynamics when on his 4th year of studies. He's graduated. Okay, so this talks about him. Let's see.
That's fine, Edwin. That's fine.
So yeah, more details in there. But you can go on the site and check it out. But as you heard, they are a Christian-based team. And they created this program with, they have morals that they want people to make stuff with a positive message, something that everyone can play, or enjoy. So that sold me alone. I was like, okay, one is cheaper. I can do everything in the program, and it's made by Christians. Like, I was like, one, I want to support. 2, I want to get the word out about the program because it's amazing. I do all of our models in 3D Code, and I needed something I was just calculating expenses and stuff. I'm like, man, ZBrush so expensive. I'm like, dang, I gotta get Photoshop. I use GIMP. This laptop, this is not my work laptop. I use GIMP. GIMP is free. And I'm just like, man, and I found this program and it was answer prayer. I was like, whoa, it's so cool. And it allows me to be creatively free. I can sculpt this voxel model as much as I want, and I don't break anything, I don't mess up anything. And I can just easily, like I said, retopologize. I sculpt it, I retopologize, I unwrap, I bake normal maps onto it, and I started painting in there. All in this program.
They just need rigging.
So let's see. I can come here. Let me go to this layer right here. Let me see. Alright, so I can right click. Let me right click, fill, whole layer. And that should give me like this base color.
Did you use ZBrush before?
Yeah, I've used ZBrush before, and ZBrush is cool. You know, I don't knock the program, but you can really get some like high detailed models done in ZBrush.
How long did it take you to make the transition to skills wise?
It didn't take that long really. It took me about a month and a half to like really start learning like the tools. I have a buddy that worked for Warner Brothers. He's a senior artist, and he just kind of sat me down and was like, "This is this, this is that, this does this," and I'll say, "Oh, okay, cool." And I started messing around with the program, and like I picked it up fast.
Yeah.
And same thing for him. Like, you know, he took it upon himself he introduced me to the program. He took it upon himself to learn it. Because another senior artist was like, yeah, I just use it to retopologize because one button and, you know, auto topologize, and you have your retopologize model. Mm-hmm. Whereas then you go into another program and you got to draw the seams, and you know, you got like you're drawing. Here, I'll show you real quick. Let's see. Retopo. Okay, so let's make this layer invisible. So if we were to do this manually, let's see. I come here in quads. Why can't I remove it? So first I'm gonna. All right. So that's one poly right there, right? And then you're going in here and you're pretty much retopologizing, you're just creating the edge flow. I'm gonna do that. So you're creating the edge flow, right? There's other tools that the program has, like strokes, and this is like only in 3D code. You can bring these strokes across. And it'll create topology that way. But as you can see, like if you were to sit down and do this like manually, it takes time. I hit one button and it auto topologized, and you saw here, let me make this invisible. It created an exact replica of my skull in one click. So it's like, imagine how much faster, like, one, you're not leaving the program, and two, the tools that they provide for you to retopologize, to unwrap, to paint, all of it's quick. Boom, 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 boom. And they're constantly updating these tools, and it just keeps, like, they just released an update. They're very responsive. Like, I contact them and they send an email quickly. So yeah. That's pretty much 3D code in a nutshell. I took my model, I sculpted it, I retopologized, unwrapped, UV unwrapped, and painted it at normal maps. And then, last but not least, I can take and I can export this.
Support, presumably.
And I can export it for Unity. Unity standard. It's cool.
Or any number of things.
And let's see, where am I gonna export this? Make a quick folder or something. And I probably should have downloaded the whatever, we'll name this something. Stuff. Okay. Open up Unity.
Okay, you put that out as an OBJ, did you?
As an OBJ? Yeah, I probably did.
I know you probably answered this question early on, but In regards to, because you compare it to ZBrush a lot and some of the benefits of this program, how does it compare to also others like Blender and is this compatible for use in even like stuff from the Adobe suite that can be used for even film? Because I know a lot of 3D artists use ZBrush and or Blender, and they use in conjunction with like Adobe After Effects for stuff like that.
So me personally, I've never really used Blender, so I couldn't like sit here and tell you like, oh, Blender has sculpting tools or it doesn't.
I can speak to that. So Blender has its sculpting tools, and I've actually used both Blender and Sculptress, which is another kind of a free ZBrush, very limited tool, but I enjoy Sculptress. But I've been curious about 3D Code for a while now because I've kind of done all the tutorials and seen a lot of this already. Not tutorial, but like videos on this. But I wasn't satisfied with the Blender tools. They're capable of doing stuff. But it's kind of like what he said, the going back and forth between things gets a little bit cumbersome, and the interface in Blender for their sculpting kind of has the same problem of like it's polygon based, and you can end up with weird stretching, and if you don't set the smoothing, you get kind of a weird look, and it feels clunky in Blender. It's there, and Blender's great because it's accessible, it doesn't cost anything, and you can get started with it. But I've had my eye on 3D Code for a while, and it, not just here, but in a lot of YouTube videos, it really looks impressive to me, which is why I came to watch this. There's a lot of comparison between ZBrush and this. ZBrush is the professional tool that a lot of studios are using, and I think there is a reason for that, so I'm hearing Edwin say a lot of things against it, but I think this is definitely more a great indie approach because of what Edwin's saying, the cohesiveness of it all. So what was the other tool? Oh, for film and stuff.
Yeah.
My impressions, and I have not had hands-on 3D Code, but my impression is that it can stand right up there in that field of tool set. I mean, 3D would basically be just whatever you're creating your models in, and it's a model generation tool, but it adds in all the, what do they call them, different rooms, I think. You have your blending, or your sculpting room, your mapping room, so it kind of has these, it's basically 4 programs in one that all integrate together. You sculpt, you map, you paint, there's like 4 of them, I don't know. So yes, I think it's capable for that type of work, from my impressions. I can't speak to that with full certainty because, again, I haven't used it myself. But he has that object in Unity right now, and it's just that compatible.
So I know with like After Effects, when it comes down to like bringing 3D models, like say if someone did like a logo,
Yeah.
and they had their logo do like a spin around or something like that. So like you could create, the thing is you can create the logo in ZBrush if you want it, but like I said, you gotta leave ZBrush. You gotta get Photoshop, you gotta texture logo on Photoshop, and then bring it in Maya, and if you wanted to animate it. Now regardless, 3D Code does not animate. So you can paint it, you can sculpt your logo and everything, and then bring it into Maya, animate it, and then bring that into After Effects, and then add some effects to it and stuff, and put it into your video. But yeah, the thing that I heard about Blender is that Blender, like it takes more steps to do something because it's a free program. I don't know if that's the reason why, but it takes more steps to do something, as in, like say if you're doing something in Maya and then Blender. Something that takes 2 steps in Maya will take like 4 steps in Blender, like double the time.
I think the caveat to that is just practice with either program. Like if you know Blender, there's ways of getting stuff done quickly.
Oh, yeah.
But it takes a while. Blender has such a unique interface that a lot of what you learn just in general computer use, you have to kind of relearn how to make Blender work for you. So there's seems to be a steeper learning curve with that. 3D code looks like you just get in there and you kind of can know what you're doing pretty quick.
But yeah, did that kind of answer your question, Hans?
Yeah, yeah, very much so. Thank you.
So now you see that I was able to, and with the way that I import, I did it manually. But there's a plugin for 3D Code that you can just push one button and it brings your model, your textures, and all that in there. I don't have to put them all in these slots. It does that for you.
Can you export it as an FBX with materials and stuff embedded?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
easier.
Yeah, you can export FBX, and yeah, it's actually easier. I just did it real quick just to get it in there and show you guys that you can put it in Unity and have it pretty much the same as we're looking at it here. So
You around all day today? You here all day today?
yeah. So this, but like I said, I create whole scenes. So imagine I'm creating like a level. I'm sculpting a level. I'm sculpting over here, I'm sculpting over there, and then that's my workflow. And then what I do is I say, okay, I will have a mountain, I take the mountain, I retopologize the mountain, unwrap, paint, put in the game engine. And I take a rock, I take that, do the same thing. And then I have my whole environment in Unity. And then pretty much the plugin, I'm like, oh man, I don't like this part right here on the rock. So I can edit that and it'll update it in Unity automatically with the plugin attached.
Yeah, Edwin, I mentioned the free program Sculptress, and one of it actually has a painting side to it. But one thing I find is that once you go to painting, you can't go back. You can't go back and re-edit the model. Is that an issue with 3D Code at all?
No, you can go back. You can go
back and forth between the.
Yeah, you can go back and forth between the rooms. Right here, at the top, are all the rooms. You have and then we have tweak. So I didn't even show that. Tweak.
Yeah, let's tweak.
Say like, I'm like, oh man, you know, I sculpted this and everything, but I just want to move this slightly up like that, right? You can do that, and it'll still be your retopologized model. Okay? So right now, if you look, I still have the same retopologized model, but I'm just modifying it. And I can make slight modifications like that. Okay? So that's another thing. So say you have another model that was someone else made in ZBrush or something like that, right? Like I've done that with Billy, Billy the 3D artist that's on our team, right? I said, okay, I just want to shrink this a little bit. So I would go here and tweak, and I would use a move tool, or I would use the transform tool, and I would shrink. And I'm like, okay, I want to make these arms longer. So I make arms longer. I use a move tool, and I pull the arms out, and I'm like, okay, cool, I like that. And then I export it out of here. So also has this tweak room, which is really cool. You could look at, like, there's a render room where you can kind of add like different shaders and lighting and things like that. Let's see what's this. I haven't really dove into the render room much because I pretty much take it in Unity and I just plot the lighting and stuff to it in Unity. But yeah, so that is pretty much 3D Code. Anyone have any questions?
It might be interesting for you to pull up the gallery on their website, because that's pretty impressive too.
Oh yeah, I have that here. Let's see, gallery, and this is just to show you like that this program is well over capable of creating high definition models. Super capable of doing it. Like, look at this stuff.
It's crazy.
So even if you wanted to start, like, you want to start making stuff like this, right? You can start in sculptors and learn how to like use the basic sculpting tools. 3D Coat has pretty much all the sculpting tools that Sculptors has. So if you wanted to start learning how to sculpt models like this, you can download Sculptors, and it's free. And then when you feel like, okay, I want to get a licensed version now of 3D Coat, and I want to start, you know, really making some stuff for a game I'm working on, then you can do that. Yeah. So yeah, that's about it. Any other questions? Any other questions?
Where, do you have a, where are you at with your game?
What you said, where are we
Where-
at with
yeah,
our
yeah.
game? So
Yeah.
right now, so we did a prototype, and there's still a couple design aspects that we'd like to fix, which is why I didn't really want to show it today, but I'm going to show it. There's still a couple design aspects that we need to fix, but for the most part, we have a base. And we're working on the demo right now for Kickstarter in January. Reason why I haven't really been posting anything is because I'm saving all of that content to rush that stuff out for 3 months straight. So starting in September, we're going to be showing all of the artwork and things that we've been doing for the game. I'll show that to you guys now. I'll show that to you. And then I'll show it in there, but I'll show that to you while we're in here. Just some of the stuff that we've been working on. So let's see.
Do you have anything in 3D Coat that we can see it in 3D Coat? That might be interesting, given it's a 3D Coat.
Yeah, let's see.
Like a finished, or a
Open up.
finished.
Like, so this is our new character, our main character, right? So I took him in 3D Coat. I fixed the size up a bit. I added some texture to him. So this is Joseph from the Book of Genesis. So yeah. This and the environment stuff. Let's see. I think I bought some other files. Let's see. Content, characters, 7 rooms, 7 edit, BB short. Nah, this is all raw.
That's
Oh
fine.
yeah, this is the character, our main character. And the other one was the old. Let's see if I have the old one in here somewhere. You guys have seen the old character. Let's see. Prototype, gameplay, marketing. Let's see, art. Yeah, so this is our old guy right here.
He looks really cool.
This one.
Yeah.
Do you like that one better than Yeah, some people tell us that. They like this one better than this one. But yeah, it might be. So yeah, I'll show you guys. I'll play the video real quick. I was gonna play it in there too, but I'll play it in there. Content. Let me X out of here. I don't know why I have so much stuff on this desktop. Content. Here we go. We're gonna name it. Capture. Oh, here it is. So yeah, this is some of the stuff that we've been working on. Some of the artwork that we're gonna like push out starting September. So that's the first little boy. Call him Little Bush.
Edwin,
Yeah.
not to break up the party, but you have you're a little bit over.
A little bit. Okay.
-2 minutes left.
That was your job to tell me.
So yeah, I'll show this
We have
in
to start later
the
because.
Okay. It's okay. It's
I
just,
don't know what happened.
well, you got this finished and you can finish up, wrap up stuff, but you got another 2 minutes or so.
Okay. But yeah, so pretty much January, we're gonna launch for Kickstarter. I'm currently building out the environments, taking out all of the prototype art and putting in like the final art assets. So I'm building all that stuff in 3D code, like building out the environments and stuff. This is one of Joseph's brothers. He's gonna be like one of the bosses in the game. And that's the model.
Thank you.